Welcome to Everyone is the Asshole in War Times, reporting
Yes,
live.
from the belly of the beast, from the belly of
Yes,
the empire.
yes. Should I give a quick update on where we
Sure,
are with the
let's
war?
do.
Ooh, okay. It is the biggest story right now. I would say it's costing us our future
I mean, what is
and
it, like
what
a
our
billion dollars a day or something?
yes. So that's been fun to watch, like all the things we could do
Yeah.
with our all this money being spent, but that's and they're talking about a draft.
Adrienne, I could not wrap my head around that. Well, and I guess like I have so many thoughts, right? Because like, first of all, what the actual fuck? I thought it was no more wars. I thought it was America first. How is like implementing a draft America first, number one. Number two, a draft is actually maybe the thing that would actually get people to change their mind
Yes.
because like
But will it be too late?
maybe, um, maybe because like the people who are going to get drafted, that's like because right now, if you look at who's in the armed services, you're going to see a lot more people of color. You're going to see a lot of people from lower socioeconomic status because it's like a promise of a way to get out or like for social mobility. You can get your
Sure.
education, you can get everything paid for, da 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 da. So like rich
There
kids
was
don't
no
need
new
to go.
wars.
Yeah, rich kids don't need to go, right?
Yeah.
So I think like middle class, like if for example, I mean, he's obviously way too young for this one, but if Jack, my nephew, were of fighting war age, my mom would smuggle him out of the country. Do you know what I mean? Or she would like cut off his
100%.
big toe or something. Like she used to joke that she would cut off thumbs.
She already has a game plan.
She
She's
already has a plan. She already has a
before he
plan.
was born, probably.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, and because the thing is, like, my parents, your parents were around for the draft in the Vietnam War.
they do not act like it, though.
They
Do you
don't.
think? I mean, I think about this all the time with my parents in being born 1955 in North Carolina. They were the sit-ins. Everything was going on around them. First group or first class to be integrated. So they really think, I feel like they've forgotten it. And it's almost like, here's our gift to you guys. You don't have to think about it
Yeah.
either. But could
I
use
mean,
some of that right now. Like
like,
guidance.
my mom's family talks a lot about there was a cousin that like went off to the war when he was like 18 or 19, was engaged to his high school sweetheart and died like the second day or something, was killed like the second day or something like that. And so they are very like,
Sense.
but that's why I mean, it's just he's going back on everything that they said. They don't give a shit. They have no shame at all. They're not even trying to explain themselves. And
Oh,
this
they
war,
are
they,
27 different examples of like
yeah.
everything.
Well, they literally said, unless I'm mistaken, I should have pulled this video, but like they're not trying to make this some kind of moral where it's about like we know we want the oil. And I mean, I've heard some people say
It's
it's about
always about the money.
supporting like the women, which is so crazy because like you don't support a women's movement by bombing a girls' school
Which
or
has turned out to be the US.
yes,
Yeah.
and you don't bomb like because you saw today that Tehran woke up this morning and there's like clouds of black
Oil.
smoke, oil rain, and like so how is that supporting any cause? Like you're destroying
The
the
future.
yes, and it's not just going to impact Iran, like it's going to impact all of us, and it's so short-sighted and it's so megalomaniac, and I hate them.
This is the short-sightedness of his presidency, which is everything. I think has like somehow worked out until this is like, okay, now for our future, for the decades to come, we have to be breeding people that hate America yet again. So
Mhm.
terrorist attacks will be here
Hmm.
as,
And I
shortly,
mean,
I'm
yeah,
sure.
that's right.
And you were talking about your nephew. My nephew would be in the same boat, but
Yeah.
he wants to be a hunter when he grows up. So he would absolutely probably want to join against everyone's wishes. And I'm sure well, I don't know. You don't hear too many supporters out there ready to go.
Well, and I was gonna say, like, you know, this is different from like a World War II where it was like we were attacked and there was this, you know, like there is this idea of like a morality of standing up for the country and we were only did it because we were forced to. This is like so thinly veiled as just, you know, power plays and trying to get rich by, you know, and so I don't but then again, I just think it's harder. I will be waiting to see how they try to frame this war as any using any type of moral claim because I just don't see it. Like
No.
even one that I don't agree with, I don't think they can even make a claim of anything because
It
there
is
isn't
pick your own adventure.
Right.
Everybody is just naming what they think it is about.
right.
I think they're just, you know, women are saying, oh, it's for the women. It's to people like Mary Lou or like, let's liberate the Iranian people. While Bob next door
Liberate the
to genocide.
yeah, like by murdering their leader, whatever you think about him, right? Like
I didn't, honestly. Which I think the majority of Americans didn't either.
yeah, of course. Well, and Americans, it's a kind of a similar thing with like the October 7th thing for me in Israel in terms of like where the sort of cultural narrative starts, like at what point, and like the Americans thinking about Iran, it's like the Iranian hostage crisis and shouting death to America. Well, why are they doing that? Why would they do that?
Same.
Oh, wait a
Keeps
minute.
repeating.
Because they had a duly elected leader who wanted to nationalize Iranians oil, and he wanted to audit BP and say we need to make sure that you are paying the Iranian people enough for our oil. We don't want to get screwed over. Fuck you. And so what did the United States do? They supported a hostile like fucking coup where they put in an Ayatollah who was very violent and very horrible to the people. The people didn't want them. So yeah, of course they're going to hate Americans.
That story doesn't get told, though.
Of course it doesn't. Because America can't, like, you know, America is getting, the chickens are coming home to roost.
Yes.
And, like, when they interviewed.
Everywhere.
Yes. They interviewed this, one of the leaders that's still alive in Iran, and they were like, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do about, are you worried about, you know, an invasion by the Americans? And the guy goes, no. He said, we're waiting for them.
They are built for this.
They literally have been planning this since 1979.
And we were backed by Donald J. Trump.
And
Pete Hegseth.
Pete fucking Hegseth, I swear to God, Adrienne. He is such a punchable
Yes. I wish he would. It's hard to choose but he's definitely brought us into this. I mean, it is so classic, like everyone was saying, divorce energy. Like he has all this built
does
up
have divorce
and he's
energy. Oh my
taking it
God.
out.
He really does. He really
It's a
does.
fucking
Oh my
joke.
God. Did you see that their commanders so that there have been so many complaints by service members that like their commanders are saying crazy shit like this is God's war. This is a holy war. Like we're bringing the force hold upon. Like that's insane. And that's another thing that people are saying about like why it's good for us to like go into Iran. Oh, they're religious zealots. I'm like, are you kidding me? You had a bunch of Protestants come in and lay hands on the president of the United States in the Oval Office, like, and they're the religious zealots.
They don't think about the other coin of what if they were talking about praying to Allah, anything else. Well, that's different.
I want to be in an administration just so I can bring Satanism into the White House, just so I can bring
It's a great cause. It really is.
Church of Satan into the Oval Office.
It's gotten such a bad rap. We really should bring light.
And the reality is the Church of Satan is wonderful. I would actually join. They're so sweet and kind and good to people. But like, can you imagine if there were like all these people with like gauged out ears and like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, you're a woman, so you wouldn't get elected anyways.
Yeah, right. Totally. It'd be so funny if I ran as like a conservative Republican debutante character and then got in. I mean, obviously, people, you know, I wouldn't be able to do that because of social media and stuff. But like getting in and then pulling a fast one, you know, like, oh, actually, I'm a card-carrying member of the Church of Satan, and And in
Installing
fact,
it.
guys, we're gonna have a huge a huge bust of Satan that's gonna sit on the Resolute desk while
Yep.
I sign law bills into law.
Hold
Praise
it
him.
on Trump, a little plastered his face all over the buildings
Oh
in
my God, can
Washington,
you
just cover him
imagine?
up.
Like
Yeah,
people
it
would
sounds
rise up.
great.
There would be like January Sixers like at the they would come and like
I saw this list of the January Sixers, all the ones that have been rearrested and like
oh
what they have their
a
offenses.
lot of them are fucking child molestation, child
Because
pornography.
projection is, to me,
Yep.
like the Trump cult, the biggest, category of people is just projecting onto
The biggest, what
everyone
is it? The
about their
biggest
lives.
accusation or accusations or confessions or whatever.
Yes, every day. I
I,
mean, which you would think they'd be worried about, like all of these gay Republican men. I mean, they are so outspoken about it, but I look at them and now I question them once they speak out about it. And then Nancy Mace, all with the girls' bathroom stuff.
oh my God,
That
dude.
clip of her asking Tim Waltz, she was like, yeah, 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 yeah. What is woman?
Oh my God.
I want to leave her a voicemail on her line and be like, big supporter, biggest fan, friend of the show, like everything,
Friend of the show.
friend of the show, very wise. But the bathroom thing is fucking weird, dude.
Like,
Like,
why are you
it's
so obsessed? Why are you
weird.
so obsessed?
Yes, like
Why are you so
you are
obsessed?
bringing a light to this. You are wasting your time. It's just weird. And I mean, she's cuckoo for
She's
Cocoa Puffs
cuckoo.
everywhere else, but she makes me
Um,
laugh. Since we were talking about it, Little Mr. Boomer, I want to give the floor to a boomer that knows what he's talking about, because I do, like, right now I have so much impatience for talking to any of them
yeah,
that don't know what, they've
of
done.
course, yeah.
I want them to start the conversation with, like, yes, we realize we sold out your generation.
Right.
I'm sorry. Can we now continue? And
Yeah,
I'd be cool. Okay.
yeah.
Can I? Oh,
When I was growing up, we were led to believe the United States were the heroes, that we had God on our side. Now, as I sit here at 65 years of age and watch what's going on, I can categorically say we are not the good guys. We're, in fact, the bad guys. We're not heroes. We're the villains. Fact of the matter is, there could be an argument made for us being fucking terrorists. Now, some of you might say, well, that's pretty strong, Mike. That's unpatriotic. Well, it would be unpatriotic if it weren't true. And let me explain to you what I mean. We're bombing boats, killing innocent people in the ocean. We're going into Venezuela, kidnapping the president of that country. Then we start a war unprovoked, bombing the piss out of it, sending missiles into elementary schools where hundreds of children are killed, throwing their country, Iran, and every other country around it into turmoil, fucking up the economy, fucking up the global oil market, and it's costing everybody money. Who is gaining from this? The only person who thinks he's gaining from it is Donald Trump. He thinks he looks tough. He thinks he's doing something. He thinks he's distracting from the Epstein files. This is not the behavior of the good guys. This is not the behavior of a hero. These are, for all intents and purposes, terroristic attacks. And unfortunately, that's who we are currently. The United States of America, an adversarial country to fucking everybody. We have no allies. This is very frustrating. It's frustrating because there's still people out there that support this dipshit. People in Congress, people on the streets. They still support what he's doing, even though they can see that it's fucking wrong, that we are the bad guys. Apparently, they're content with us being the bad guys. Well, I'm sorry, I can't accept that. And most of us can't. So we got to keep pushing. We got to keep fighting till we get through this motherfucking mess. And there's going to be a hell of a mess to clean up after the fact.
He ate. He cooked. Let him cook.
I guess I think it feels good to me hearing like older people realize
I think so
this.
too. Like he said, we're terrorists. Like because that's
Yes.
like that's right. And honestly, watching like quote unquote mainstream media or whatever, they're talking about, oh, another United States service person has been killed, which is of course tragedy because like they're dying for fucking no good. But also like I think after every sentence that they're saying about this war, they should say, and let's not forget the United States executed over 150 girls from between the ages of 7 and 12 while they were learning in their school. Because I don't think that, like, I'm not hearing them talk about that enough. Like, literally the first round of strikes killed over 100 girls between the ages of 7 to 12 while they were in their schools learning. So miss me with the, we got to free Iran's girls, and because how is that doing it? Bombing them, turning their ecosystem into, like, you know, from, it looks like the bad guy from fucking, what is that movie with the fairies? That cartoon, that animated movie.
Oh, that's rather nice. Oil and grime, poison sludge.
FernGully. It looks like Texas or whatever, motherfucker.
Any villain, we are fitting the bill.
Oh, yeah.
But you're right, and I don't know if they're, you know, scared to report on this, or if it is so atrocious that, because it is like, what's the worst thing they could do on the first days?
That's right.
Obviously civilians. What's even worse? Like, children. What? Like, this, is it not disgusting? They blamed it on Iran. Like,
yes, it is disgusting. And the reality is, even if it were an errant missile fired by Iran, it would still be the United States and Israel's fault for starting the war.
And we're going to lose.
Yeah.
Did the United States bomb a girls' elementary school in southern Iran on the first day of the war and kill 175 people?
In my opinion, based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran.
Is that true, Mr. Hickson? It was Iran who did that?
We're certainly investigating.
Still investigating.
But the only side that targets civilians is Iran.
We think it was done by Iran. Because they're very inaccurate, as you know, with their munitions. They have no accuracy whatsoever. It was done by Iran.
Since an explosion, a blast at a girls' school in Iran, the U.S. military has been investigating what happened and whether the United States may have played a role. And what Reuters has learned from discussions with U.S. officials who spoke to us on condition of anonymity is that it looks increasingly likely, it looks probable, that the U.S. military was carrying out a strike on that location.
The strike was on the first day of the U.S.-Israeli operation, targeting sites inside Iran. I think it's very striking because it was a girls' school, and by some estimates, including Iran's ambassador, about 150 girls may have been killed in the strike itself.
No final conclusion has been reached from the investigation. The U.S. military Central Command stressed that the investigation was still ongoing, and it said it would be inappropriate to comment on the investigation while it's in course. At the same time, out of the White House, we heard from the press secretary, Carolyn Leavitt, that the U.S. doesn't indiscriminately bomb anyone.
An incident like this would really be one of the worst ones of civilian casualties caused by the United States, if confirmed, in the Middle East.
If this is confirmed that the United States had a role in this strike, it could have major political repercussions for President Trump, especially as he's trying to gather support from allies for a war that Democrats are saying is a war of choice. Having U.S. support and international support behind the United States for this campaign is a big question going forward, and one that is politically fraught for Trump ahead of the midterm elections later this year.
We've got someone that's not listening to any of the research that they've already done, because it's losers. My God,
the topography of Iran alone is extremely difficult, makes it an extremely difficult place to actually invade. I mean, and don't they remember what happened you know what I mean? It just doesn't make any...
No, they don't. And you know who is familiar with those, mountains and the terrain? Their military. Who's not? Us?
Our military. And they have like literal rocket launchers built into the side of mountains, you guys. Like what are we doing here?
Did you see they're faking out all the stuff? They're faking out. They're like drawing helicopters. And,
Oh, I didn't see that.
and then the U.S. Army or military is falling for it and using our very expensive missiles to like bomb these fake targets. So
And I've seen how it's like Iran is using like these drones and or whatever that are significantly less expensive than like the shit that
$50?
I saw somebody say that, like, make the point about, just as a reminder, many members of Congress own like millions of dollars worth of stocks, etc., in these defense contractor businesses. So they're like benefiting. I mean, I saw Elisa Slotkin
clean house
was coming out of like a conference, like a meeting, and they were like, is there a chance that there's gonna be more money for the war? And she's a fucking Democrat. She was like, yeah, I mean, we're in it now.
She takes APAC money, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, she definitely does. Fuck her. No, fuck her.
That's
She's like,
the most hard thing for me at this point is like there's so many people out there that are, saying the right things, the things I want to hear, fighting, pushing back a lot in Congress or in the Senate, and then you go and find out like one more piece of information about them and it's terrible. And you're
right.
like, I mean,
what they should, because they got they brought the War Powers the War Powers Act up for a vote to say that they were like, I don't know like closely enough about like in the weeds specifics, but my understanding is that it would have been a mechanism for Congress to require that the president cease without their, like, they would put it to a vote. Oh, what do you know? They found the exact number of Democrats who had safe seats that the Republicans needed to defeat it.
they have sold us out.
Fuck them. I have negative faith in them, and to be honest, I find it even more kind of betraying because they're supposed to be the better party, right? But then they're just doing whatever, like that. Obviously that doesn't happen on accident. They have a meeting and they are like, okay, you guys are going to be the ones that are going to be the bad guys this time because you're safe, you're not going to get reelected. We should all be like, no, fuck that. Fuck that.
Yeah.
We don't
We do, and that's the problem. And the other side does not. But that's why
that's true. That is true.
It's not left or right. It's top and bottom. But they always do. I don't know why we don't just play dirty too, and find the Republicans that they can blackmail, like however many they need, and just to get the votes. I mean, like do what you got to do. They're dirty. Spend the time investigating them.
These guys are making money off of this war, so they're gonna vote. They're not gonna do anything.
So what do we?
Criminally negligent. And it's more than negligent. They're criminally, like they're not meeting their
expectations.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, at this point, the expectations are probably being met. But I'm like, in terms of the oath that they take, in terms of all that, like they suck. I hate them.
No other better portrayal than from Hakeem Jeffries and
I hate him.
Schumer. I mean, I feel like they're on the other side.
They're such waste of space. You know what I mean? I'm like,
power.
What are you here for? What do you do here?
They are like the chaperones that don't realize the party has gotten out of control. People are dead, but they're still acting like, it's okay. But like,
a strongly worded letter or like I just don't. And like Hakeem Jeffries definitely takes AIPAC money as Chuck Schumer does, but Chuck Schumer is like proud of it. Chuck Schumer is like,
Yeah, God, that video that just leaked of him.
I will continue to fight for it, and we delivered more security assistance to Israel, our ally, under my leadership than ever before. We will keep doing that, everybody. It is so important to give Israel what it needs and to protect itself from the many in that difficult region who want to wipe Israel off the face of the map.
Oh, okay, so let's do one of my videos. Okay, so for the viewers, there's a great podcast that Adrienne and I both listen to. It's called The Necessary Conversation. You may have heard of it. We were already listening to it before but they went a little viral when they went on Hassan Piker's stream. And I've been watching it, and the funny thing is, like, Adrienne and I both individually started watching it before knowing the other one was watching it. So, for folks who don't know, so it's two adult children and their parents come together every week and have conversations about politics. They started the podcast because there had been so many ruptures, which will be familiar to anyone listening to this, ruptures in their family in this sort of like post-Trump world. The parents are both like very, very MAGA, and the kids are lefties. So they have these conversations, and I find it really interesting myself because I have a lot of family that is very conservative and MAGA, and I'm very lefty. And so it's nice for me to be able to kind of get a look into what people are hearing, you know, what they're being told, and, you know, so it's just interesting. The mom, in my opinion, is we've got a little wiggle room with her. She'll admit like that certain things are terrible. The dad is very, I mean, just watch the podcast. But what I think one of the most interesting things to me is when they have the family therapist come on, and you can tell, and the kids even say, you know, it's like stuff that they never even heard from their parents. And I think it's such a, and the clip I'm going to play to give a little bit of context. With the adult kids, what they talk about a lot is how much their dad was kind of like a hard ass regarding sports. Like, he really pushed them really hard to participate in sports. And then we have this, like, right at the end of the episode, almost like a breakthrough with a therapist.
My real mother gave me away, and the parents that raised me really they weren't involved in my life at all. My father was 43 years old when they adopted me as a baby. So he was more like a grandpa than he was a father. And the real family I had in life were my sports people.
That's how you knew to show love, is through sports.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. That's how you felt accepted. That's how you felt some sense of family. That's how you felt community and value as a child. And so you took that was what love was, and you gave that to your children, right?
Mm-hmm. And probably that's the reason he married me. He said to me, "You're a good athlete. Do you want to have children?" I said, "Yes, someday." There you go.
And it's raising to be superstar athletes.
Wait.
And they were both good athletes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Dad was too, right? Like four sport letterman and all that in high school.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think we got to the bottom of that right there.
Yeah.
That, you know, being involved in sports equals love. And so that's really important. But, and also that then, you know, the ways that we say nobody gets through childhood unscathed. And a lot of that.
Did you see that? Did you listen to that part?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And I love when she says, it's like when your kid is about to touch the hot
That's
stove.
That's what she was about to say. Yeah.
Yes. And I think that's such a sweet and like, you know, easier way to explain that they can comprehend. I do think it's true, but you know, it is like no child can go unscathed. And I think all of these adults try to pretend like they can. But anyways, go on.
Well, and like that's kind of what he's said earlier, was talking about like, look, I didn't get any hugs or kisses, like, but I didn't cry about it. And but it's like for this particular moment for me, and somebody that is a fan of the podcast that's listened to a lot of the episodes, there is this recurring thing where the sports were a really big deal in their house, and the dad was like, kind of, the way that they describe it seems like kind of over the top, like pushing a little hard, being a little gruff, being a little like, you know, and that impacted the kids. But then to me, I like almost gasped out loud at this part, because it was like, oh my God, you know, it's so humanizing for this guy who dehumanizes himself on the show with the horrible things that he says, but then to see a little bit behind, you know, because he was like a sad little boy that got abandoned as a baby and felt like nobody loved him, and the only place where he felt belonging and love was through sports. And so he probably didn't make that connection himself, but when he had kids, he was like, this is how I knew what love was, and I want my kids to know what love is too. And they even said he played all those sports because he was trying to, and in a different episode, he had, with the family therapist actually, he had said something like, well, you have to be the best so you can be picked, so somebody loves you, so you have to be the best. And so I'm like, this, like, if I were one of the kids, it's like, my God, I'm seeing my child. It doesn't mean that the childhood that they experienced isn't real and didn't have real impacts on them, and that their experience doesn't matter. But like, it definitely gives you a different perspective on what he was doing when he was doing that. And I literally like gasped out loud. Okay, I was like,
me too.
Yeah, and I love
like, I have other people are watching. This is amazing. This is a breakthrough.
Incredible.
But
I was like, this is a breakthrough. And
it
Mary
is,
Lou
but not to
even
him.
was like, Mary Lou was like, oh, well, I think we got to the bottom of that.
I thought that was so uncomfortable. By the way, I was trying to dress like Mary Lou today. If you noticed, she looks good in the
I literally was going to say, like, dude, Mary Lou looks amazing. Like, she has incredible skin.
If she would switch her hat, like she was wearing the Trump hat, but like it was black and
she
gold.
looks great. She looks great.
I was like, Nancy.
And Haley, her daughter, is hot. Like, Haley's skin, I'm like, girl, please drop your
44, and I'm pretty sure 44, and like Chad is 49.
Like yeah, I think he's gonna be 50 soon.
But they are both, to me,
they look young.
So differentiated. We have, like, I just see so much of what could have been, like if they didn't really go out on their own and really develop their own personalities and their own life and make their own decisions. And Mary Lou often says, I catch these moments where she's like, maybe I did too much. Maybe I...
She did that in this because, thank you, she said, maybe I should have let them touch the stove. Maybe I should have let them touch the stove. It's like, girlie, you are missing the point here.
I think I finally found what's going on here. And the clip is nothing to do with politics again, because that's where all the gold lies. And it is a simmer down. Yeah. Chad is like so playful and sweet and inviting, and like, we're gonna take a moment to not talk about politics. I want to go back to our 20s before any of this and just think about like a really fun, kind of crazy, maybe
so
adventurous.
Sweet.
He is.
I
like,
think he's so precious.
I do too. And like, he tries so hard with his parents.
He's trying really fucking hard, yeah.
So hard. So, and then Haley, because they just had gotten so
Haley is
heated.
at the end. Haley is like, I'm done fucking around about this shit.
Haley and Chad are able to, describe these like really cute, fun, adventurous times. Like, Chad goes and steals or touches the H on the Hollywood sign. He obviously didn't steal it.
This is when I was in college. I was at a party.
All right, he describes his.
Like wild stories from college.
She describes hers. Look at their faces.
They're not even listening.
No.
She said,
whenever it's fun,
he's like asleep.
He's asleep. Look at this. Look at her face and look at him. When their children are describing a fun time of their lives, and they almost appear mad.
I don't know.
Okay.
So it's just like,
look, bored.
Not as much for that.
All right.
One day, baby.
What was something you did in your 20s?
Okay, Mary Lou.
I really didn't have much fun in my 20s. We were dirt poor. We were raising you as a baby.
This is so boomer.
We had to get through school to get a job to make money. We were so dirt poor that one day we had no diapers and no milk. And I looked at your dad. I said, which one? And he said, I'll go in the store. I'll get the milk. We can figure out the other end later. Our 20s were hard. They were not easy.
There wasn't one fun moment?
We had to do everything for free. We couldn't pay to go to a movie. We couldn't pay anything to go do anything. So we would take you in the baby stroller and go to the zoo. That was fun time.
Okay, Dad? Not one moment. You didn't have like a fun night out with your buddies even once?
I never went out with anybody's.
Okay.
Not once. Not one fucking time. No money.
It's no fun. It was just a decade of pure torture?
Oh, it was
The 20s were hard on us.
not the whole 20s. I would say from probably about 19 to 25. Yeah, it's pretty damn hard.
Your dad always worked.
6 years.
What happened at age 26? There were some good times or no?
I had a job.
First job.
Okay. And what did that feel like when you got hired at that first job?
Wasn't that I just had a little bit of money to get started with.
No.
We didn't start out on the cush like you two
We
did.
didn't have a family to help us. We had a family, and they were saying, good job, wonderful, but they never gave us anything financial.
We had to pay all our school loans back. Nobody gave us. The federal government didn't forgive all that shit like they do you fucking
Okay,
foreigners.
so not possible to keep politics out of it or think back to a time prior to it. How about your 30s? Were there any fun moments then?
I got a fun moment Mom had in her 30s.
I worked all the time.
I remember that one.
I got a fun moment from Mom's 30s.
Complains about her 15-hour days. I had them for 50 years.
I love how it's always competition.
I know.
Well, and I worked hard as you do, longer than you ever have or will.
Okay.
And make more money, and are taller and stronger, and more beautiful. Okay, let's move on.
Eggs?
Yes, the rabbit and the eggs.
Is that what they were bringing up?
Yeah.
Goddamn.
For the stories my mom went out, who was it with? Your cousin? Who did you go out and get drunk with, Mom? Dad was going on some kind of a business trip or something. You went out and
High
got...
school teacher. Yeah, it's like tennis coach.
Just went out and got shit hammered and then came back and made me and Haley make her scrambled eggs. And Haley put her pet rabbit in the bed with her.
And I didn't know that you could drink beer and apricot.
Overserved.
You had peach schnapps.
Overserved. Mary Lou got overserved.
All right, here we go. Our fourth topic is Elon Musk loses. This week after broken dick Elon Musk went on Fox News to whine about Tim Wells laughing and Tesla stock crashing, he also lost $25 million in a failed attempt to get a conservative judge.
Okay.
Like,
that's what I think it's all about. They are
like,
pissed.
look at me. Look how hard our life was. Your life is so easy. Our life was so hard. Our life was so, I mean, it's so obnoxious. Like,
But this, it's that, but then the dagger in the heart, I think, is, and after all of that, after our life was so hard and we made it easy for you, you still didn't choose our way of thinking.
Right.
And that is what they cannot get over, and that is why the dad, Bob, I think, is so angry.
He's so mad. But also, I think with these parents, I think if they had become MAGA, there would just be something else. It would just be something else that they needled them about, or that they, because I think for them it is about sacrifice and suffering is the virtue. And first of all, it's like brainwashed into them by their emotionally distant,
immature,
and, dysregulated parents of their, you know, and and they had to be probably seen and not heard. They, you know, all this stuff. So to be a good person was like to suffer, and to suffer valiantly, and to put your head down and not complain about anything. Like, that's such a twisted way to live your life.
And then seeing that Chad and Haley are opposed, they're like, no, you don't. We can actually be happy. Look at, I mean, I'm looking at this screen now, but you can't see it, but it's Chad and Haley are both smiling and their parents are angry.
Look angry. Yeah.
And again, it's, to me, projecting, like, maybe we wasted our life being like so rigid and suffering, and seeing that you guys aren't is like a threat to, like, what, you know,
like,
what
you could
we
be
spend
happy.
our lives thinking. I think they're never going to be able to get over that, and they're never going to be able to actually admit that. So they're talking in two different realities. Like, Chad is trying to relate to them as adults, and
I think that to me is what was breaking my heart about that video. Is the first thing I noticed is that you guys didn't have a single happy moment with your children, with your family, like your kids didn't
they were
bring you.
born. Right.
I mean, because
well,
that's
they
what I
did, but they didn't want to admit it, you know? I think the point was to say you suffered.
Well, that's what's so tragic to me is you're looking at your children and you're telling them that you had no happy times with them at all, basically, because they were making your life more difficult because you had to have money to support them. So wait a minute. You know what I mean? And I recognize that, like, emotional manipulation approach, like, very, very well. Like, that's a boomer, like, classic boomer. And, you know, to give them some grace, because I think their parents were, like, not able to emotionally be there for them, you know?
So she has said before, when Chad asked, you know, don't you have some bad times from your childhood that you would have liked to tell your parents? And she was like, yes, but I never would, because
it's called respect.
It's called respect. They wanted to die thinking they were good parents.
Just let me die.
Let
Did
me
a good
die.
job,
Yes.
is what she said.
And that, like, when I heard that, I was like, oh my, that's what I feel from that generation, but it was, she actually said it out loud. Also, I just think her and Bob are so different, that it's hard to, like, even if you think, I don't think Mary Lou is ever going to switch or think any differently or denounce
She can't
Trump.
leave her husband. Her husband,
right.
yeah. And he's literally never, ever gonna, I mean,
No.
I can't imagine the situation that would, I guess you can't never say never, but I just can't imagine a situation where he would be like, oh, now I've changed how I think about other people, you know, like.
Yeah. I care about them. He's also very, I don't know if I was trying to sugarcoat it, but I didn't realize how racist he really is. Like, I went back and listened to some of the first episodes. And just, I think this should be a psychological study. I think so much, like, I don't think that they're going to change, but I think you can find out so much from this. I hope people, maybe it'll be us, but that's why, like, you know, when people come out and be like, this isn't productive, I'm like, shush. Like, it's not.
I'm saying that, but I'm like, I think it's really productive when they have, like, the therapist on. I think it's really productive, even when they had they were on with Hassan. With some
what do you think about that? Why do you think?
I think Hassan, like, I'm a big fangirl. I think he does a really good job of leading in those conversations with, like, curiosity instead of assumptions and judgment. And so, like, just asking follow-up questions, you know, where I think even, and I can understand it, like, because it's hard when you're, like, related to or have a relationship with somebody like this and you're trying to talk to them. It's harder, I think, to separate, you know, the emotional part of it, because like I see Chad and Haley kind of like and like kind of, rather than, I think there are some, and I don't blame them because it's hard.
No.
I understand it's hard, but like that's why I think having a little bit of distance, it's good to have somebody on there because they can be like, you know, well, what do you mean by that? And just let them say a little bit more rather than be like, oh, so you disagree with Trump? You know what I mean? Like, I think it's, so I like, because I think it's honestly helped me, because now I did definitely have a tendency to be like preachy and know it all with,
like, Parker's got Parker get a job. Like, if you compared his style that he went on, and that's not conducive to Mary Lou or Bob. No. And he's, you know, he is younger too, and he was came in, but Hassan to me came in like, and this could not be true, but he came in like, I'm not going to change their minds today. I know I'm not going to change their minds today, but what do I have control over? Like, leaving a good impression.
Which is important. It's really important because
you can do, and it's so frustrating.
The parents don't know anybody they just see what the boogeyman that's portrayed to them, you know, by Newsmax, which is like, they're on like the worst. Newsmax is like, so not good.
It's like when Mary Lou shares a Fox News clip, I'm like, whoo! At least a step down.
There.
But now it's CNN bought, like, there's no news left.
No.
There's no news left. Like, biased news. So that's good. Except us.
Yeah, and Andrew Callahan, Channel 5. I love Andrew Callahan.
Yes. Shout out. He did announcing the war clip.
Oh, I have to watch that. I haven't watched it yet.
It is great. It is very funny, very real.
Yeah.
I like the people that are saying it as what's really going on. This is our future. This is like, this really kind of sucks.
Yeah, right. Like, guys, this is
it's not a politics, like, we want to, like, debate.
It's going to impact things. Like, whether, you know, you can't just, like, hide your head in the sand. Like, things are going to happen. There are going to be consequences to this that all of us regular ass people are going to have to deal with, you know.
And I do just see, like, slipping. I just had a conversation with my sister about healthcare in the United States, and, like, trying to come from the perspective of universal healthcare. Why can't we do that? And I remember she said something like, well, it's just, we can't afford it or something. Or maybe she said, where would the money come from? And I was just like, we have the money. Like, I know we have, obviously right now, we have. It's just a matter of what we spend it on.
Some guy from Lockheed Martin came out and made an announcement about how they've agreed to quadruple the, munitions or whatever, blah, 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 and that they've been working with Secretary Hegseth for months. So this wasn't.
That's good for them. That's really good for them.
Yeah.
I'm happy for them in their business.
I am like, wait a minute. I thought he just decided.
I can't believe that didn't leak.
To be honest, like, I don't trust anything they fucking say.
No.
The stuff that they're putting out on the official White House, like, it's like the cringiest, most pathetic. We're so unserious, and we're so
unserious.
We're humiliated.
I didn't think I was going to grow up and be the serious one. I really didn't.
Seriously.
We're
in idiocracy. We are in
idiocracy. Can we go out like on a campaign and be like, we've been trolled. You got us. Like, what do they need? How far are we going to have to destroy everything to own the libs? All right, show me your last video.
Oh, I have 2.
Oh, good. Keep them coming.
Okay, let me see.
I only have 1 left. And it's a happy note to go out on.
Okay. I have 2, and neither of them are happy, even though one of them's funny.
Perfect.
So let's do this one first because it's not, and it's like the amount of times that I am like nodding my head, fucking Tucker Carlson. Okay,
or Marjorie Taylor Greene,
dude, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Shout out to Tommy Till.
I know, Thom Tillis
from North Carolina. The guy. I mean,
come on, raise up.
I mean, yeah, he's a coward because he's on his way out. But I'll
he
take
at least, yeah. Okay,
are
you ready?
Ready.
Okay. Look at his face. Okay.
Concerned should we be in the United States about something like really radical happening here, and not just a terror attack or as likely a false flag terror attack or whatever, Americans being killed in America, which is what matters. But like the U.S. government doing something crazy. How should we feel about criticism of this war? Are Americans who criticize the war from within the United States at risk, do you think?
Sager! Breaking points.
Let's be honest, and you should be honest, because, well, let's look at the Department of Homeland Security, right? And you and I can be supportive of a lot of the president's immigration policy. And I think we can also recognize that there were parts of that immigration policy that were specifically directed by a foreign lobby for trying to deport people who were critical of the nation state of Israel. That was the level of insanity that we saw when people are getting deported for writing an op-ed. Okay, well, now this machinery has a new potential lead, Mark Wayne Mullen. He's very pro-Israel. Well, also, let's see that could get.
So,
Mark Wayne.
Okay, I forgot that he mentioned Mark Wayne at the end of that. But number 1, Tucker Carlson's literally calling out the fact that we do not have free speech, that people who are going to be critical of a government probably should be concerned that there could be, or in this war, should be concerned that there could be some blowback. And then fucking Mark Wayne, dude. You saw that clip. I know you saw that clip where he tried to fight the...
that's Teamsters, the head of the Teamsters.
Wish.
He tried to fight my union.
I bet that Teamster could have kicked the shit out of him too. You know what I mean? Or is he like some...
Yeah, sure.
Said, greedy CEO who pretends like he's self-made. Sir, I wish he was in the truck with me when I was building my plumbing company. Myself and my wife was running the office because I sure remember working pretty hard and long hours. Pretends like he's self-made. What a clown. Fraud. Always has been, always will be. Quit the tough guy act in these Senate hearings. You know where to find me. Any place, anytime, cowboy. Sir, this is a time, this is a place. If you want to run your mouth, we can be 2 consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on.
Big guy.
Oh, stop it.
Is that your solution, everybody?
No, sit down. Sit down. Okay. You're a United States Senator. Sit down.
Active.
Oh, okay.
Sit down, please.
All right. But let's remember that Mark Wayne is of MMA fame. I was talking so positively about Thom Tillis, but he did just like post something about, whoa, Mark Wayne, like undefeated MMA, or like he's in good, DHS is in good hands. So, there's that.
I mean, Thom Tillis at least we can identify when a blind squirrel has found a nut,
The passage where you talk about killing a dog that was 14 months old. I train dogs, all right? And you are a farmer. You should know better. You should know that if you're going out to a hunting lodge and you're putting pheasants out and you're putting dogs out, you don't take a puppy out there. A 14-month-old dog is basically a teenager in dog years. You decided to kill that dog because you had not invested the appropriate time in training, and then you have the audacity to go into a book and say it's a leadership lesson about tough choices. Those are bad decisions made in the heat of the moment, not unlike what happened up in Minneapolis. I expect we're an exceptional nation, and one of the reasons we're exceptional is we expect exceptional leadership. And you've demonstrated anything but that in the time that I've seen you responding to the emergency in North Carolina and across the Southeast and acknowledging when mistakes are made. I want to submit this letter from the Office of Inspector General that cites 10 different instances under Ms. Noem's leadership where they've been misled and not allowed to pursue investigations that they think are critically important. Does anybody have any idea how bad it has to be for the OIG in this agency to come out and do this publicly? That is stonewalling, that's a failure of leadership, and that is why I've called for your resignation.
I think that might be the age of politics we're in, maybe, of like this. We can pick things, and maybe I'm wrong, but we have to pick things that we agree with certain people, even if we don't agree with everything. Like that was Sager. I don't really like him, but I love... Do you know Breaking Points and Crystal Ball? Crystal Ball, Stan Love, like she's one of my favorite journalists, who Tucker was just talking to. He's the conservative side of Breaking Points, and Crystal is the more liberal side. And I love watching them. But I will say, because we're gonna have to be a little careful because it might be Tucky in Marjorie Taylor Greene 2028. And if so, how far do we pump them up?
She cannot.
Because I think they have a chance of winning over J.D. Vance.
Ooh. Well, I shan't be voting for any of those people.
I don't think I will either.
Yeah.
Still time.
Maybe they can bring me around. Maybe they can change my mind.
I mean, not J.D. Vance. You know, he has a way with words and a way of being like the biggest worm of...
What a worm. What an absolute worm.
I can't believe how many people hate him on the right. Like, I just thought it was...
He's pretty hateable.
Yeah.
He doesn't have, any riz. The guy is rizless.
And as Clavicular would say, he's fat.
Clavicular would talk about how his proportions on his face are all off.
I mean... Imagine being J.D. Vance and once upon a time he was kind of chubby and not the best, and then he went through Peter Thiel gay camp and came out looking and then to have this great style, blah, blah, new me, and Clavicular just in one interview is destroys your run for president after all that and called you fat.
Right, that's because with Gavin Newsom, he was like, look, versus this Chad or this, whatever.
Well, that's another, what are we going to do with little Mr. Gavin? I want people like him.
I don't want to vote for him either.
But they have a purpose. I want them at the front lines of all this. And then I want
him to be fighting against, Yeah.
And he can take the punches and get wounded, and by 2028 he might be on the ground, but our fresh face that we want to vote for just walks on over them and wins. That's how I see it in my future.
I mean, he is part of the political ruling class. He's as far as I'm concerned. So I don't fuck with them. And he's got out with his own, went out on his own and started cleaning up people's encampments, which is really fucked up, unhoused people. He's horrible about unhoused people. He is not he might as well be a Republican in my opinion.
That's what it seems like. A lot of these corporate Dems, they get elected and then they almost have free reign to be dickholes on issues we care about. And it's we can't, but we actually do say things, but I'm sure that's hard. Him representing you.
Yeah, he's just so slick, in a way that makes you not trust him.
Another worm in our midst.
Another worm in our topsoil. Worms are good in the topsoil. Worms are good in the topsoil, so maybe they're more like mosquitoes Yeah, because they're sucking our blood.
They're the first. We lay them down as sacrifice. I
Okay,
really
now
thought.
let me see your funny one.
All right, let's do it. That's it. I was gonna ask if you've seen this before. It's good, no matter. Share. Okay.
Hello, my name is Lou, and I put my bed frame up for free on Facebook Marketplace. DJ, hit that track. Now, I have turned it into a PowerPoint and also a musical. And because it's being filmed for national TV, I've decided to leave her full name and Facebook profile picture in, because I don't give a fuck. Is the bed frame still available? Yes, it is. Gay emoji. Can I please negotiate the price? No. What? It's free. I bargained Lucia, but that's just not the way Marketplace.
What?
I'm like, okay, how about half price just for you, Eileen? How much now? Still free. You are the best. Party, party. Here's my address. Well, that's a long, long way from my place now. How about a small discount? I said, Eileen, I can't be clearance free to pick up. Could you drive it to me, please? What the fuck? No. I don't own a car. Why didn't you say so? I can drive. See you tomorrow at 5. Very, very early the next morning, I received this message from Eileen. Lucia, I'm out the front. Sent at 5 a.m. I said, see you at 5. Please come out and let me in. I should have known not to trust you. Axe, pickaxe, fire. Should have known you didn't care. Vomit, fire. I show up on time. Are you dead? Where is Ben?
Such a cutie.
Where is Ben?
I love
How
her.
was I supposed to know that what you meant was 5 a.m.? Knock, knock, knock. Alex, let me know. It's not an ideal time for you to get the bed frame. What time then? I'm like, could you come back at 8? But I'm outside. Yeah, my housemates are sleeping. Should I just knock? This is getting creepy. 8 a.m. That's my final offer. What if I gave you $200? No, why? Your bed is worth shit. You won't get that out of me. I'm like, you don't have to collect it. Okay, see you at 8. I go back to sleep. I wake up at 8. Is she there? No fucking way. 12 hours later, this. Let's see it. It's 8 p.m. Yes, where is the bed? The concept of time too hard for you to comprehend. You're 12 hours late. I can't get you the bed. I'm at work right now. Like, I'm not even home, but I came all the way back for it, yeah? No! Please! Heartbreak, pumpkin emoji, sorry, typo, seriously, please! Where the bed? That's the lady's back. What, can you help her get the bed? Sure, okay. Housemate's home. Knock on the door. Ask for Tim. 402, 403. Knock, knock, knock. 403. Knock, knock, knock. Anyone in? Angry dolphin pile of shit. If you're gonna be itchy, you'll never get the bed. But I really want it, and I'm already there. The bed's not packed up. This is not what I expected. I'm taking off the bedding and the pillow and the mattress. What? There is no bedding. Just Dr. Tim. He'll show you to take. Is this free? Picture a pillow. That's not my pillow. Taking pillow. Where'd you get the pillow? What age is the pillow? Where the fuck are you? Is Eileen there? No. Shit. Fuck. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's perfect. It's exactly what I want. Bigger than I thought. Entry bedding. Thank you. 5 stars. Miss call. 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 Cannot talk driving with them. Eileen, can you please pick up? Gay. I'm in my bed. Tim said you never picked it up. Thank you for the bed, Lucia. Call. Eileen, fuck a message from my neighbour in our apartment complex. We have been wrong. Bed was taken. Lock your doors. Eileen, you stole my neighbour's bed. My bed's still here. You took the wrong bed from the wrong house. I didn't know such thing. Then she blocks me. Eileen, please. Where is bed?
That was a work of art. And I mean, it's really hitting for me right now because we're actively on Facebook Marketplace a ton, you know, because we're selling all our shit.
Some of your best. I was like, love that. Don't lower that price, Amy.
I could hide them, so now I've hidden them.
I love that so much.
That was so funny. As soon as we get off, I'm gonna show it to Eric because
yes!
he will also appreciate it. Yeah, he will also. That is so crazy.
People are in an absolute tiz because Trump removed the pride flag. People are in an absolute tiz because Trump removed the pride flag from the Stonewall Monument in New York. They say it's erasure of LGBTQ history, blah, blah, blah. Get over it, okay? Who's to say that a monument has to commemorate what originally happened there? You know, we're blessed to have a commander-in-chief who has Alzheimer's, and he's willing to generously scale that condition nationwide and apply to our history. And the beautiful thing is, when you forget what a monument commemorates, you can reinvent it. So I say from here on out, the Washington Monument should be a tribute to pale men who get a massive erection whenever they're standing in front of a long, sexy puddle. The Lincoln Memorial, I think, should be to memorialize people who are house poor. You know, Lincoln's in that big-ass house, and all he could afford is a single chair. Broke bitch. The Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial should be to never forget the people who have been slowly eaten by walls without them noticing. And for the LGBTQ community, the Stonewall Inn should be to commemorate Stonewall Jackson, who was essentially the first drag queen. He started dressing in the other side's clothes, and he started serving cunt. Because what is cuntier than going to war to deny the sentience of the very people who built the nation? You know, a lot of people are saying those who forget history are doomed to repeat it. That is not a warning, that's a recipe. It's sweet as hell when you forget what happened, because then you can go back to repeating the same old shit. Get back to the good old days. If forgetting means that you can go back, sign me up for a brain injury, baby. And just to put one last thing to bed, I've heard people say, oh, why can't the Trump administration extend a fraction of the empathy to the LGBTQ community that they show to pedophile tycoons? Is that so much to ask? And the answer is yes, and the answer is, you're gay.
Chef's kiss. All we have in this moment is comedy, is satire.
Like,